Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time, and I'm a little bit late because I was busy doing stupid stuff. I've not looked at the news, so let's do a short one. Let's do a real brief one. First one up. This is the story of Jim Orwin. He's come to prominence because he was sacked by East Riding of Yorkshire Council because they wanted him to use pronouns in his email footer. You know, it's a thing now. But he decided to go against convention and went with XY chromosome guy / adult human male. He was making a point. But yeah, he's now been hit with a £12,000 legal bill after his tribunal battle. Here is the adult human male XY chromosome guy himself. Again, I don't understand why you need pronouns in emails or whatever. I don't get it. If you want to do it, fine. Just marks you out as being a little bit special, but not in the way you think it means. But when you're being employed by someone, you have to be a bit careful because they're paying you, and sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like assume the position. But yeah, the ICT project officer joined the council in 2018, had no problem until April 2022 when bosses sent out an email suggesting staff add pronouns to the internal and external emails. Suggested, didn't order him. So he decided to use XY chromosome guy / adult human male instead of he, him, they, them. Yeah. Speaking from his home, Mr. Orwin explained it wasn't mandatory, it was to enter pronouns should you wish to do so. It was my decision to do so. There was a drop down menu. It had he, him, his, she, her, his, hers, they, them, their, do not show, or other. Under other you could put what you wanted, and I chose that one. And Mr. Orwin said that he never requested to use pronouns in any emails. The issue only started off because East Riding of Yorkshire Council's Chief Executive Caroline Lay suggested staff consider adding pronouns. Again, you didn't have to do it. It was voluntary. But yeah, Mr. Orwin said he formed the view that it would be done to facilitate self-identification, specifically on gender. Again, if you're a gender realist, like some of us, again, gender, sex, interchangeable, sex is immutable. You can't change it. You can lock bits off. You can graft bits on, but it's hardwired into your DNA. You're not changing. You are what you is. So we tend to have a dim view of these things, but I think Mr. Orwin kind of stumbled into difficulty here because he should have just kept stum. He should have just kept stum. But yeah, and staff was also sent a link to mypronouns.org to help them choose. Just in case you're unsure, you have a look down, have a look at the contents of your underwear. You go, I wonder what I am. I can't tell anymore. But yeah, he said there are also neo-pronouns which people can make up. Zim, Z, Zir, apparently. And yeah, it got him into a lot of bother. He was invited by his managers to change the pronouns, but he refused and was suspended, then dismissed from his £27 a year, £27,000. You see, you can tell my heart's not in it. You can tell that I really don't care because, sometimes you just got to eat shit. And if you like money, you have to eat shit. If you like being poor, be a rebel. That's the lesson here, yeah? So he took the authority to a tribunal in May and said that he'd been discriminated against his beliefs and unfairly dismissed. The panel heard the council's reason for introducing the policy was to promote inclusion. There's always inclusion. To identify their gender in a way that was not necessarily consistent with their biological sex. So they're sex mimics. Remember that, they're sex mimics. And but yeah, they found against him because he didn't have to do it. It was voluntary, but he put on I guess you say like a confrontational thing, and his views would be viewed as offensive. Again, you know, he was in protest. Again, Judge Ian Miller summed up and said, the real reason that Mr. Orwin decided to add the XY chromosome guy / adult human male was in protest. The thought was designed to provoke, and we think, given the acceptance of possible offence, was designed to offend. The judge said the implementation of the policy was poorly thought through and badly executed. So again, the council was had their wrist slapped too. Dismissing his claims of discrimination, he said none of the treatment he experienced was because of his beliefs. No, it was because he was acting like a pillock. If you really want to fuck with them, put she/her. Grow a full beard and put she/her and go, you're being and if they question you, say you're being transphobic. You've got to play them at their own game, because we live in a time of supreme stupid. The eyes tell you what the person is. You don't need to identify yourself. You don't need to self-identify. That's why we have eyes and ears and noses and all those lovely senses. So Mr. Orwin said, I'm not homophobic or transphobic. My only strong belief is that everyone should be able to live their own life within the law, as long as they're not physically or mentally damaging to anyone else. Again, the problem with self-ID of gender is we are forced to accept somebody else's delusion, and that's the problem. If you're mental, I don't want to take part in your mental. If you're again, I always use the example of Napoleon. If you say you're Napoleon, I'm not going to recognise you as the Emperor of France. I'm sorry, it just won't float. And so, again, keep your delusions to yourself, but dress as you please. Do as you want, but I don't have to take part in it. That's the thing. But he got fired because he was a bit silly, and he should have took the first warning that they gave him and just removed them and just backed down. Because you've got a choice. You either like money and like paying your bills, or you like being poor. And meanwhile, scientists revealed what the perfect woman's body looks like. Here we go. This is a new study. There always is. This is the University of Constance, and that's Stance with a Z. I always say be careful with anyone who spells anything with a Z. According to the scientists, the most attractive women have a pronounced S-shaped contour from the chest down to their thighs. It's the old, This could explain why curvier stars such as Marilyn Monroe, young people are going, who? Who's that? Kim Kardashian, even younger people are going, who's that? But yeah, it's the overall curviness which makes them appear attractive, rather than them having a slim waist. These findings overturn old research which assumed that waist-to-hip ratio of 0.7 was the ideal body shape. However, the researchers say that a lower waist-hip ratio is only attractive for women with a lower body weight. For larger body types, it's curviness rather than waist size. Which is, I'm losing. Then there is a health risk though if you're fat. But there you go. That's how you can do it. I'm sure all the lads today in the chat are grabbing their tape measure, and instead of measuring their penis, they're measuring their hip to waist ratio, and it's and they're deciding if they're curvier. And look, here we go. This is, I don't even know what that is. What the hell am I looking at? I can't get aroused by that. This isn't working. So yeah, there you go. Scientists, ain't they wonderful? Meanwhile, the perfect temperature to set your thermostat to keep your home warm and save money. Well, it's simple. You set it to 0 and you just put an extra woolly on, don't you? You just put extra woolly on. So yeah, 2,000 Britons have been surveyed and they've settled the debate. You need to set your thermostat at 19.5. We have it at 20 because we're rebels. Because we're rebels, see? We're not like you sheeple. We're rebels. We will rebel against the flock. Meh, meh, meh. Oh, I'm in a funny mood. Oh, I'm in a bit of a funny mood. Meanwhile, Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron are having a crisis summit on how to deal with Trump. Just cough. Try to hide your Trump behind a cough. They're talking about, of course, President Trump. Oh, it's a good day. President Trump. Just be nice. Just be nice to him. Just be nice. Be nice to Trump, and he'll be nice to you. So, meanwhile, Damian Lewis, he's the ginger-headed actor who's in Wolf Hall, who's playing Henry VIII. I'm Henry VIII, I am. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Again, you should always get your political advice from actors. Now, you've got to remember, actors spend all their time reading words off a page that somebody else has written. They're devoid of any mental capacity. It's the writers you want to listen to. But yeah, he compared Donald Trump to Henry VIII, who he's playing in Wolf Hall. There you go. Hey, I'm Henry VIII, the best Henry VIII. I'm going to cut off all their heads. He's had almost as many wives, isn't he, old Trumpy? But there we go. So yeah, more liberal tears are shed because democracy. Because of democracy. It's like Brexit all over again. Do you know what? No, I blame the election of Trump on. I blame it on Brexit. That's what I blame it on. I blame it on Brexit. Oh my life. Oh my life. What's going on here? Meanwhile, from the world of stupid, we bring you the ultimate in stupid news. Hampshire police were put on alert of hundreds of shoppers descended because Le Creuset, and that is a kitchenware brand, was on sale. Yeah. Shoppers from all over the UK flocked to the firm's handover warehouse sale for the weekend, and the queues went on for miles. Just for pots and pans. Pots and pans, god damn it. Look at it. Look, that one's stupid, he's stupid, she's stupid, and all those people in front are stupid too. There you go. So there you go. So were you in the queue for the Le Creuset? Le Creuset. It's just a pan. It's just a fucking pan. Let me know in the comments box below, but you won't because you're probably still queuing, and the internet's not very good. I'll tell you something. Is anyone out there from Colchester? I know I was in Colchester the other week. I couldn't get internet on my phone anywhere. I could get it in the car park, a big concrete building, but when I go outside onto the mean streets of Colchester, no internet. What's that all about? Meanwhile, did you wear your poppy with pride at the weekend? Many Gen Z and young people, their Generation Alpha, if we're doing the Gen thing, say they're too scared to wear a poppy because it's a show of patriotism and uncomfortable for them to wear. I don't wear a poppy because my nan said they're a bunch of bastards because, again, even when I was a kid, it had Haig written on it. General Haig sent as my nan said, sent all our boys over the top. You know, all the working class boys, Haig slaughtered. And then he came back from the war and his wife nagged him and he got a conscience and he created the Poppy Fund. And so every time you give money to him, you give him money to Haig and keeping his name alive. And she used to go, give me a white poppy any day. And that's why I've never worn a poppy. I give money, but I don't wear them. I put money in the tin, but I won't wear. Not that you see anyone around with a poppy tin anymore. Well, not at least where I walk the dog. So I never wear a poppy, and also because all those brave men and women who fought in all the wars that we've been involved in, they fought so I didn't have to. And that's what these young people need to think. They're wrong. They're wrong. It's not patriotism at all. It's a mark of solidarity, and to remember those who kept this country free. That's not patriotism. It's called respect. You know, it's called dignity. I got a bit of dust. I'm not crying. Remembering the dead. I'm a hard-hearted, flint-souled man. That was well timed. That. But no, I don't agree with the poppy. I don't agree with the poppy. But if you wear it, fine, good for you. But we shouldn't have poppy Nazis dictating who should and who shouldn't wear poppies. I think that's wrong. You see, I think that's not right. You shouldn't. The whole point is choice, isn't it? Meanwhile, major EastEnders Christmas spoiler is revealed as actress accidentally leaves script on the train. Does anyone care? They just end up shouting at each other, don't they? So it's just shouting. There's loads of Trump news today. There's loads of Trump. Meanwhile, rich Democrats are splashing out millions on homes in London to escape Trump. Oh, yes, good news for us. It's really good news for us, isn't it? It's really good news. Oh, dear. What else have we got? Oh, we've got poor Joe Biden walking around. Oh, look at him go. Look at him, poor sod. Go on, Joe. Go on, you can do it. Oh, he's not a well man, is he? He was walking on a trail on Rehoboth Beach. That sounds like something H.P. Lovecraft would write, isn't it? But yeah, he's a bit unsteady on his feet. So there you go. What else is there? I could do that one. Just seeing there is a video. I'm just let's see. It's a 40-second video, but will there be a minute advert? We'll have to wait and see. Come on. We're going to the New York Marathon. 15-second advert. Okay, this is the New York Marathon, and Lloyd Martin, right, was running the marathon, but he decided to impress everyone with his dance moves. There he is. He's having a great time with the audience. He's singing, he's dancing, he's having a great time of it. Look at him go. Look at his moves. He's busting a move there. Yes, that's it, my son. He knows how to run the marathon. He's just entertaining the people. Well, I've never seen a marathon run like that before. I think if more marathons were run like that, I'd watch them. But yeah, Lloyd Martin took on his second marathon last weekend in the Big Apple, making history earlier in the year in London as the youngest person with Down syndrome in his category to compete in the race. His family's from Cardiff. He didn't seem fussed about appearing and was there just busting his moves. There you go. Fantastic. And it's not all doom and gloom. As you can see, the anticyclonic gloom has lifted and we have light pouring in, and now I look like a skull on a stick. It's marvellous. I should have adjusted the camera, but hey, we're going to be spontaneous. You're so spontaneous, you knock me out. Deep cut there. Who did that song? Right, okay. There was a story. Here we go. A man may have captured Nessie. Here he is. He's looking happy. This is Owen O'Foddigan, and well, I think we've first seen before. But look, he's got something there. It could just be a guy flapping around, couldn't it? On Loch Ness, he spends his time looking. Meanwhile, how streamers and social media spoilers are killing long films being shown on the big screen. Yeah, apparently streaming sites and social media have been blamed for slashing the amount of time being given to major movies in cinemas. And apparently, look, this is the average number of weeks movies are screened. And look at it. Yoink. Well, like the new Joker film, which is really bad apparently. I'll probably like it because I hate the first one, but I've got a funny feeling I'm going to like the second one. Is already available on streaming if you want to pay your shekels. Watch The Substance. I could do a video review, couldn't I? And no one will watch it. I like that idea. I like the idea of making content nobody watches. That's why I'm doing this. But yeah, It's nothing to do with that. It's because we live in a post-cultural society where movies and books and music and television and magazines are no longer relevant to the switched on, hyped up, self-perpetuating, self-manufacturing media. What would you? I was going to say whore. Yeah, whore. Because we all look at us. We're all doing it ourselves. We don't need those stinking Hollywood movies. More evidence of post-culturalism. Thank you very much. What else have we got? Can't do that one. Meanwhile, I can't do it. No, I want to do it, but I can't because YouTube, very sensitive, very sensitive. I'm one of those teases. Oh, I've got a good story for you, but I can't tell you. What else have we got? There was a story I saw. I glimpsed it, but it was on another. It was. Here we go. If you think you're having a bad day, right? You want to consider poor Jean Langan, right? This is the pop-ups. This is the inquest into the death of a retired civil servant. Jean Langan, 87, had attended Derriford Hospital in Plymouth in Devon on March the 4th, 2022, and was walking with her niece back to the car in the hospital car park. But as they were walking back, a helicopter was landing at the nearby hospital helipad, and the down gust, the downwash, because as helicopter, you know what a helicopter is. Do I need to show you? Do I need to show you what a helicopter is? Well, the downdraft blew her over, and she hit her head and died after suffering fatal head injuries. Yeah. So they're a very sad story. That at the inquest, senior coroner Ian Harrow, Exeter's Coroner's Court, said that the incident had been investigated by the Air Accidents Investigations Branch, that's the AAIB, which published a report. Police said at the time that it was an HM Coast Guard aircraft. Maybe William was flying it. But yeah. That was it. There's just an accident, terrible accident. And her family said she would have hated the publicity and the circumstances surrounding her death have generated. As a result, she lost that quiet dignity she would have chosen. And that's at Derriford Hospital. So you've got to be careful. We had an air ambulance land out here on the green opposite, and the noise, whew, it was noisy. I didn't go outside, but yeah. But yeah, CCTV footage from the hospital car park showed people walking next to the wall of the helipad, and they were seen falling to the ground as the search and rescue helicopter came into land. And so yeah, it seems a bit unsafe. They're going about health and safety, but they put a walkway near a helipad. So very unfortunate story, that. So be careful out there. Meanwhile, council is slammed for public art. Yeah, this is where is it? Is it in Falkirk? Falkirk? Yeah, Falkirk Council have done this, and it's what is it memorialising? Anyone? Do you want to have a guess? What is it memorialising? And more importantly, how much did it cost? It's called Remembering Together. That will give you a little clue. Yeah, it's helping. It's a memorial to COVID-19, because we all want to remember that, don't we? And really, it should have been a statue of somebody sitting on a bench being arrested by the police, holding a coffee. That's the real story of COVID, isn't it? The scamdemic. I'm going to start calling it that, like Rob Schneider. Scamdemic. Yeah, I'm going to be like one of those far right grifters. Scamdemic. Yeah. They gave us the vaccine for the 5G, but I tell you, our TV pictures improved since I got the vaccine, so I'm well happy. So yeah, you can send money to the usual address. Make it use notes. Brown plain envelope. The usual address. But yeah, the sculpture was created by Caspar J. Wilson and emerged after workshops and stories told across Falkirk, where community members shared their thoughts, memories and aspirations to create a permanent memorial of public art. And council said it's been referred to as a piece of art, but it looks more like some scrap in a scrapyard. And someone's picked pieces of metal out of a skip. That's a bit harsh. This is what it was meant to look like. I mean, that looks really... I mean, if it was stone, maybe, if it was, carved with stone out of marble, I think it's the material. It looks kind of harsh. But, after maybe once it's dulled a bit, it might look all right. Of course, maybe it's got to be buried in the ground. Oh, I get it. It's not finished. You see those bits at the bottom? That's the base, and they've got to be buried. And then it will look like fingers, like coming out of the ground, maybe. I don't know. Okay. It's done it again. I've saved the story and it's gone. But anyway, let's go to Russia. Vladislav Vladik Bokan pulled off a right wheeze. What he managed to do is he managed to convince gullible Russian teachers to wear tinfoil hats that he dubbed helmets of the fatherland. Yeah, this was for teachers from multiple schools in Voronezh. And he was trying to demonstrate how everyone had been brainwashed by Kremlin propaganda. Oh dear. I did have an idea about bringing out a range of hats made of tinfoil. I mean, her face is a picture. Does she realise it? But I like they've got Putin's picture in the background there. And and this is Vladislav Bogan, the prankster involved. Oh dear. Meanwhile, one mother has got an issue. Her name's Alex. Have they got a full name now? She's Alex has got a young daughter and two other children with her husband Rob. And she says she's got a bit of an issue because when she walks around, people say to her, whoops, pop-ups. They don't say pop-ups, but maybe they should. They say to her, that's not your daughter. And she got a DNA test to prove to everyone that it was the daughter. And here they are together. Here are the family together. As you can see, her husband is white, she's black, and they've got you couldn't really call them a rainbow family. And I think that's the marvel. That's the marvel of human DNA and genetic variation. But yeah, she said she'd been stopped on the street and security had been called onto her because they don't think the baby is her baby. But that's what happens sometimes with mixed race partners. And but that's not the issue. This is not why I'm pulling this up. It's the name, and I don't know if this is right or not. Maybe they misheard, but they called the daughter, wait for it, Pudge Pudge. Yeah, the 2-year-old is called Pudge Pudge and was conceived via IVF. Now you can see why she may have had the DNA test, because sometimes those clinics do make mistakes. And but yeah, you called her Pudge Pudge. Mind you, she has got a little pudgy face. There we go. Ah, and what else have we got? Have we got? Can we end on a funny? I don't know. I don't know if we can end on it. I don't know. Let me do this one. This is an animal story and it's funny. Right. It's a story of raccoons. Right. Yeah. We're going to Germany. Yeah, in Kassel in Germany. They're overrun by raccoons, right? To the point where they've started making raccoon burgers and sausages to deal with it. Now that is the writer of the piece, David Jones, tucking in. And now the interesting thing about these raccoons, right, is they were released back in the 1930s by Hermann Goering. Yeah. And they've overrun the city. I can't show you that picture because they'd have a bloody field day with it, YouTube, but I can show you that picture. So how are we going to go with this? There's even a raccoon shelter for them. Look. They were released near the Edersee Dam back in 1934 by Hermann Goering. Right? So you could say Germany's been invaded by Nazi raccoons. That's it. That's all I've got. And I think I'll end it there. Sometimes you've got to leave them wanting more. And who's in? Clive's in. 10 people in, 5 likes. Well, 5 of you not so sure. 5 of you not so sure. Remember, likes and engagement tickles the balls of the algorithm. And I really want to see you tickling those balls. Clive's in. He said, how am I doing? I'm still doing it. I won't stop. I can't stop. I refuse to stop. Andrew's in. He says, oh, I'm in today. Good. And he says, I'm 100% male. And I like it. Good for you. Payne's in. And he says, damn raccoons. Yeah, very good. Damn raccoons. But you get them confused with beavers. Mind you, Nazi beaver. Who's going to turn down some nasty beaver? I was working towards Nazi to nasty, but it all went wrong. Fell over my own tongue there. But there we go. Thank you for watching. That was another coffee time. Then we'll do it all again, I suppose, if I have to. I feel like it's a prison sentence, don't you? I think I'm never going to escape. I'm never going to get out of here. Only death will be a sweet release from this nonsense of coffee time. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, and we'll do this all again soon. Killing the channel, one video at a time. You know. You've got to drink out. Ta-ta.